Okay, thank you. So I'm doing research on electromagnetic pulse. Usually what I get started with is I go to Google Advanced or Google Scholar, kind of just depends. So I can start with Google Advanced Search, and I might start with something like electromagnetic pulse, and then maybe threat, danger, news, and then a lot of times I like to specify the site or domain, usually .org, .edu. Usually I try to avoid .gov, but sometimes I'll allow that. So go for my search. It says doesn't match any documents, which sometimes happens. So usually I go back and I get rid of like some of my criteria and just kind of try to narrow it or widen the search a little bit. Wow, this is not working again. That's weird. Maybe I'll just spell out the word. That might help. Oh, I think it's because the internet's not working. Hang on, the internet's gonna start up in a second. I'll get my snack while I'm waiting. So internet's still not working. Maybe I'll try a different one. Okay, we have one to work. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to pause the recording and see if I can talk to Dr. Bohannon about this.
See if it'll work now.
It says at my top, my research is not coming up, but that's weird.
Cool.
There we go. It's
Awesome.
working. Yay!
And it's recording again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay.
Thank you. So Google Advanced does not seem to like what I'm coming up with. But that's okay. I can just start with basic Google search. And I'm just scroll down and sort of edit it myself and sift through it. So something I can find is heritage.org. That's a .org website, so it might have something meaningful to contribute to my research. Usually what I'll do is I'll look at the page that is cited in my Google search and just do a quick reading of what it is. And then I'll go to the About and look at, what the website is, what the Heritage Foundation is, so that I know what I'm using in my research. So it seems like here is a little bit more. Okay, so I was talking about a National EMP Awareness Day. So this is a whole article by a fellow who writes for the Heritage Foundation. So what I'll usually do is I'll read this and see if I can find something. A lot of times Professor Thorne asks us to do an annotated bibliography. So if I'm required to do that, Oops, there we go. If I'm required to do that, then a lot of times I'll read the entire article and then I'll cite it and then I'll put it onto Word. So what I do go to is I go to son of a citation machine, and that usually cites it for me in MLA, which is super nice. So go to website, copy and paste. And a lot of times it does not find the author of the article. So I'll go back, make sure, let's see, James J. Carafano. So let's see, James J. Carafano, double check. Cool, that's it. And it's PhD, I believe. Okay. So then, let's see, we have that correct. Electronically published, we have to find out. August 8th, 2011. Okay. Day, 8th of August. Accessed it on July 21st. So we're going to create that citation. This looks good. Usually I just kind of look at it for a second to make sure. So I'm going to click copy and paste. I'm going to go to my Word document. I'm going to put this on here. Now, usually is the time when I try to format the Word document, which is always a mess. Because you have to tell it to indent. Make sure it's going to keep doing that. So, need Times New Roman. Nope. Ah, it just deleted everything. So, undo. That was scary. Okay. Okay, now we've changed it. And we're going to double space this bad boy and tab. So, say I'm doing an annotated bibliography. Oh, it looks like I spelled that wrong. Okay, so I'll put it in the center. And this is a C, so it's likely that it'll be at the top, but I'll have to alphabetize it later. So usually what I do is I find my sources before I start annotating. So I'll kind of keep this page open and see if I can go ahead and find a couple more sources. So let's try so I go to Appalachian State University. So I like to use their library database when I'm doing research because obviously I know it a little bit better than KSU's. So usually what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to what am I looking for? Let's say I'm looking for journals and magazine titles. So I'm going to search for EMP. We'll do the newest because this stuff is a little bit time sensitive. So we're going to search that. So it looks like it's kind of confused about what I want. So then I'll specify. try again. So I'm not finding anything. So usually what I'll do is I'll change how I'm doing it. So I'll come to the main search engine and do a search. Okay. So now that I'm on here, I can look at different things that they're talking about. Here we go. This seems to be something that I'm looking at. Pulse. Should this be a problem of national concern to private enterprise, business, blah, blah, blah. So it sounds like it's questioning what the problem is or what the threat is of electromagnetic pulse. Now this seems to be a physical copy. So if I wanted to check it out, they have it at the ASU library, so I would usually click this, send via text message, and it would send my phone where to find it in the library, and then I would go to the library, the next day or that day to pick up the journal. So that's usually what I would do, but I can't do that because I'm not at school right now. So usually what I'll do is I'll make a note. A lot of times it'll just be a copy and paste so that I remember that I have this as a source. So come here and I'll just put this down, which seems to be some kind of title or information, and I'll just put pick up at library. And then I know what I'm doing. Also, it really bothers me when I don't have the same font for everything, so usually you go back and try to fix that. Make sure it's Times New Roman, double spaced. Just that separated. So let's try something else. Nope. Let's try Google Scholar. Usually this is when I go and try a different method of finding things to see which works best. So I'm looking for articles. So I type in electromagnetic pulse, and this is going to give me a ton of stuff. Now we have a ton of different things. We have theories, we have photon bubbles, we have generation and detection. What seems to be helpful is the propagation through the atmosphere of electromagnetic pulse. So I'm going to go here to check this out. And this seems like it's just talking about like what they're suspecting will happen. And this is 1986, so it's important to note the date on these because... Hey, I'm done? Okay.
Yeah. Let
awesome.
me stop the recording.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
No, you're good. Stop recording or pause?
I'm going to stop the recording.